You're listening to Money FM 89.3. I'm Chua Tian with your market view. Today we're going to be speaking to N Group to talk about their Alipay service. The launch in 2020, Alibaba affiliate Alipay Plus provides services and technology tools to global merchants and e-wallets to enable their users to make payments in overseas markets using their local e-wallets. Now, so far, Alipay Plus is accepted by global merchants both online and in-store across over 55 countries and regions using partner e-wallets such as the namesake Alipay, Touch and Go, and Kakao Pay. And the company is actively growing its business as travel restrictions ease across Asia. Now, for one, it worked with 4 Asian e-wallets, including Philippines Gcash, Malaysia's Touch and Go, to expand into South Korea. But what are Alipay Plus growth plans going forward? Which markets are they eyeing next? Now, joining us as we address the burning questions is Jia Hang, Regional General Manager, Southeast Asia at N Group. Hi, Mr. Jia, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you. Nice to be here.
Nice to have you on our show as well, Mr. Jia. Before we get started, could you share with us a little bit more about the Alipay Plus service? Now, understand, unlike Alipay, Alipay Plus is not a mobile wallet, it's not a banking app. How does it work?
Alipay Plus actually is a suite of the global digital payment and the digital marketing solutions. On one side, Alipay Plus is connected with all the payment service providers, including the major wallets or the bank apps, to make them to be fully acceptable outside of their home country. And on the other side, Alipay Plus works with the major acquirers and merchant to help the merchant to accept the wallet from all over the world. So it's a digital payment solution. It's also digital marketing solution to help the merchant to directly engage with their customers.
Right. So just for the sake of our listeners, is it right to understand it as an underlying service that's sort of built into the back-end tech infrastructure of e-wallets providers like Touch and Go and EasyLink that sort of allow customers to pay merchants overseas using EasyLink, using Touch and Go, which is denominated in their home currencies?
That's right. Your understanding is absolutely right. Yes. So that's why you
Thanks.
mentioned previously, you just mentioned that, for example, the Touch and Go can go to Korea and the Touch and Go customers can make the payments in Korea. And on the reverse side, Kakao Pay from Korea can also do the online and offline payments in Singapore. This is important for all the cross-border travelers, especially after the pandemic.
Right. Exciting days indeed. So, Mr. Jia, share with us a little bit more. What is the rationale behind coming up with Alipay Plus? Why do you choose to partner with e-wallet platforms to develop this cross-border payment service instead of doing it on your own?
Thank you. Actually, you touched two very fundamental beliefs from Ant Group side. The first one is that we believe that the future world will be the digitalized payment world. Today, you can see that the digital wallet payments become more and more popular, and on the other side, the merchant are also more and more welcome the digital payment solutions, the wallets in each of the Asia Pacific countries, right? So this is the first future belief we have. And on the other side, we also believe that when we try to do the global business, we have to work with partners and we have to work with all the ecosystems. We are a part of that. This is the only way and can do some globalized business and provide us a real value for our customers. The world is big, but Ant is quite small.
Right. So, always partner with relevant partners around the world to make things grow, isn't it? So, Mr. Jia, how does Alipay Plus fit in the wider N Group strategy for the future?
Yes, we just mentioned that this very fundamental belief, right? So
Right.
Alipay Plus actually is a very solid examples and actually an implementation about these two beliefs. On one side, Alipay Plus believe that if the future is going to be a digital payments future, then each of the digital wallets will be used not only in their home country. Today, if you are using your wallets, right, majority of the situation is that you can only use them in your home country. But we believe that just like the bank cards, right? The wallet is supposed to be global accepted. So today, if you're in Singapore, you are using PayLah to dealing with your daily payments. Then when you travel outside of Singapore, China, US, Europe, you're supposed to use PayLah as well. So that's why we think about to build up such kind of fundamental infrastructure to support the wallet to be wide accepted global wide. And on the other side, we
Hmm.
also see that there's a very strong demands from the merchant side. Merchant want to go digitalized. We call this digital transformation, right? From the government side, from the industry side, we want to work together to push this digitalized transformation. And Alipay, Alipay Plus can really do our contribution inside, which is make the merchant to accept the wallet from all over the world. So that's Alipay Plus. Alipay Plus try to make such kind of belief become true.
Right. Interesting indeed. And well, Mr. Jia, speaking about interesting stuff, Alipay Plus is in over 55 countries, 1 billion users there, and 1 million offline merchants. So, what are your target customers? Are you targeting tourists or are you targeting mainly merchants? What are your growth plans for the next 3 to 5 years?
Thank you. This is a very important question. In the next 3 to 5 years, actually, our customer comes from two segments. Number one is all the payment service providers. When we talk about the payment service providers today, we may talk about the digital wallets, right? Like the Gcash from Philippines or Paylah from Singapore. But we also see a lot of we call it the bank apps. The bank enabled their online banking app to do the payments and to do all the lifestyle service providers. They are also a part of the payment service providers. And then the buy now pay laters. We can see there's many new buy now pay later service join to the payment industry. So that's one segment, which is all the different payment service providers. We want to work with them to get them, connected to the merchant. And on the other side, we want to enable the merchant to accept, the all the digital payment solutions. There's two categories: online and offline. Online side, we are going to be very focused on the e-commerce side, digital entertainment side, and O2O. And offline, it's all about cross-border traveling. So it's regarding about the tourism, hospitality, food and beverage, and also some of the transportation service retailers. So those are our very focused customers in the next 3 to 5 years.
Before we talk about your recent expansion moves, you are working with four Asian wallets, including Philippines Gcash, Malaysia's Touch and Go, Thailand's True Money as well, to pay at over 12,000 merchants in South Korea. So, what are the reasons that's driving that move, and what opportunities do you see with those e-payment wallets that you've mentioned?
First of all, South Korea actually is a very popular tourist and travel destination. According to the trusted data source, right? The
Right.
Korea in Asia side, Korea ranks number four in Asia and the 16th globally as a destination, traveling destinations. So you can see that many of the people want to travel to Korea. And on the other side, we can see that when the people travel to Korea, merchant would like to accept the wallet from outside of the Korea, and the people travel to Korea, they are get used to use their wallet in their home country, use their wallet to make the online payments, offline payments, call the taxi, and so on, right? So they also willing to use their wallets, also uses their wallets in Korea. So that's make big demands from the market side to connect the wallets into Korea's merchants. And the reason we chose these four wallets is because these four countries, Hong Kong, country and regions. Hong Kong, Malaysia, Thailand, and the Philippines. They are also the very important and steady increasing source country to Korea. So there's more and more people travel from these four country and regions to Korea.
Right. If you're just tuning in, we're now speaking to Jia Hang, Regional General Manager, Southeast Asia at Ant Group. And Mr. Jia, I understand you are also working with Food Panda to help the platform accept more payment methods. At the same time, you are entering into this very interesting market here, San Marino, among all European countries. Tell us more about that. Why did you choose San Marino among all European countries?
Okay, let's talk about Food Panda and the
Oh,
San
mm,
Marino, right? It's actually all about the value we can provide it to our customer. Every business decision, every partnership actually is finally ultimately come to the value we can provide it to the customers. For the Food Panda, we all know that during the past 3 years, because of pandemic, the food delivery has been the industry of the food delivery has been significantly increased. People get used to order the food and wait for the food delivered to their hands. So Food Panda's business rapidly grows in the past 3 years. But the issue comes with the strong demands is that Foodpanda also needed the digital payments solutions. Cash on delivery, which means that the receive the cash is not a safe way to make the payments because the COVID-19. So people wanted to do the digital payments. People want to order the food in the Foodpanda app, then directly make the payments. So that's why Foodpanda need to have the digital, locally digital service in each of the country. And Alipay Plus perfectly fit into Foodpanda's requirements. We are provide the digital payments in each of the country, and we can provide a wider coverage for Foodpanda for one-stop connection. Then got multiple market covered. So that's why Alipay Plus showed its unique value for the Foodpanda. For the San Marino actually welcomed over 3 million tourists each year. They are very focused on the Asia market. They want to welcome more Asia tourists to visit their country. And Alipay Plus is connected with multiple wallets and bank apps from Asia. We have the very wide customer coverage in Asia on Asia side. So work with Alipay Plus can help us to bring more Asia tourists to San Marino, and which can also help San Marino's economy growth. So that's why we work together. We believe this is going to make a lot of sense for both sides.
right. Any collaboration with the government over there in San Marino at this point?
Oh yes, I think that we signed a agreement with the San Marino government to work together to boosting San Marino's tourist business.
Right, exciting indeed. Well, speaking of exciting announcements, you have one on the Japanese market for us today as well. So tell us more about that announcement.
Oh, yes. So, yes, we just announced that there's a seven wallet are going to be getting to the Japan. We heard that the Japanese are going to be officially open their board on October 11th, which means that all the tourists can get into Japan again after the past almost 3 years,
Right.
COVID-19 period. So we can see that there are going to be revenge boosting on the tourism in Japan, and that's why we in during the during the pandemics we enabled more than 1 million merchant in Japan to accept the Alipay Plus. And there's a seven wallets will be the first batch get into the Japan, and the people can use their wallet inside Japan in our merchant, right? Those wallets are the wallets from China, Alipay, then Alipay Hong Kong, EasyLink from Singapore, KakaoPay from Korea, Gcash from Philippines, Touch and Go from Malaysia, True Money from Thailand. All those peoples, tourists, are also the major tourist source countries for Japan.
Right, looking forward to that indeed and traveling again. And finally, before we let you go, Mr. Jia, anything exciting that's coming up for Alipay Plus and N Group that we can look forward to this year and the next?
Um, I think that in June, we announced that there's two wallets getting to Singapore beside Alipay, which is a Kakao Pay from Korea, and the Touch and Go from Malaysia. There will be more wallet come to the Singapore. We are working on that. And beside the payment cross-border payment solutions, right? I mentioned that Alipay Plus is also a digital marketing solutions for the merchants. So what we are trying to do is that we are helping the merchant to directly engage with their potential customers cross border. So, for example, in Singapore, we're working with a Burger King. So, which basically means that we can deliver Burger King's coupon or voucher into True Money wallet and let the customer has the access to those coupon or voucher when they use Touch and Go travel to Singapore. So those type of the digital marketing is also a lot of big value for the merchant to attract more customers and serving their customers remotely. I believe this is also a lot of big value for Alipay Plus. And as I said, right? Future is going to be digital payments future. We are look forward the time coming that people can use a wallet to remote access merchant, pay online, offline, global wide, not just their home country. Alipay Plus and my team are working hard to uh, push for such kind of target. We're hoping that they can come in as early as possible.
Well, would it be right to say that, if I understand you correctly, that you can work with, let's say, Touch and Go in Thailand to have a Burger King voucher there, and I can use it using Touch and Go here in Singapore, right?
Yes,
That kind of
yes.
digital marketing. Well, very exciting indeed, and looking forward to that. Thank you very much, Mr. Jia. That was Jia Hang, Regional General Manager, Southeast Asia at N Group. Thanks for joining us here on Money FM 89.3.
Money FM 89.3.